Throughout history, animals have taken giant leaps long before humanity dared to follow. Some may remember Laika the dog, Ham the chimp, or even the spacefaring fruit flies. But today's story is about a quieter pioneer, one who never asked for fame, who never signed up for the mission, but who nevertheless helped humanity reach the stars. Her name was Félicette, and she was the first and only cat successfully launched into space. This is her story. When you think space program, cats probably aren't the first animals that come to mind. Dogs and monkeys had already become the unofficial mascots of early space exploration. Cats, not so much. But in the early 1960s, France had ambitions to join the space race. And to prepare for human spaceflight, they wanted to understand how the brain responded to weightlessness and rocket launch forces. Monkeys were expensive, dogs required specialised training, and so the French scientists turned to cats. Félicette was a Parisian stray. She was a small black and white stray from the streets of Paris. She was one of 14 cats purchased by the French space program CERMA in 1963. To reduce the likelihood that the scientists would become attached to them, each cat was given a number, not a name. Félicette was known as C341. Scientists needed an animal that could stay relaxed while being confined in a small capsule, exposed to loud noises, G-forces, and even simulated rocket vibrations. Félicette passed every test. Training wasn't as simple as giving her treats and building a tiny astronaut suit. The cats went through training that was similar to training for humans. These sessions included centrifuges to simulate launch acceleration, sound chambers that mimicked rocket engines, claustrophobic capsules like those used in the actual spacecraft, and microgravity simulations on parabolic flights. Through all of this, Félicette remained calm, patient even. She adapted extremely well to training. She had a gentle temperament, crucial for the stress of spaceflight. According to reports from the time, she handled stress better than any of the other cats. It was clear that Félicette had the right scruff. And so, on the morning of October 18th, 1963, Félicette, still known officially as C341, was selected for the historic flight. Surgeons implanted 9 electrodes into Félicette's brain to monitor her neurological activity throughout the journey. Other electrodes were attached to her legs to track heart activity, and microphones recorded her breathing. It was an uncomfortable and invasive procedure, reflecting the era's still developing ethical standards for animal research. The rocket chosen for the mission was the Veronique AGI-47, a sounding rocket capable of reaching the edge of space. At 8:09 a.m. from a desert launch site in Hammaguir, Algeria, the countdown began. 10, 9, 8, 7. Inside the capsule, Félicette was strapped in. Electrodes monitored her brain, heart rate, and breathing. Scientists watched every signal. 3, 2, 1, ignition. The rocket engine fired for 42 seconds, accelerating rapidly. Félicette experienced nearly 9.5 Gs of gravitational force, almost 10 times her body weight pressing down on her. This was no gentle ride. But she survived the intense acceleration, and just over a minute later, the rocket reached space as the suborbital flight reached an altitude of approximately 98 miles. For about 5 minutes, Félicette experienced weightlessness, zero gravity. Her body relaxed, her vitals remained stable, and the electrodes recorded valuable scientific data. The capsule then separated and began its descent back to Earth. A parachute deployed, and at around 15 minutes after launch, Félicette touched down safely. Félicette's mission was considered a success. Her data helped French scientists better understand how the brain reacts to spaceflight. Despite the success, her mission faded into obscurity. Many believe this was due to photos of her with electrodes implanted on her skull and the growing animal rights movement. Other animals, Laika, Ham, even the space dogs Belka and Strelka, became symbols of early space exploration. Félicette. Hardly anyone remembered her name. She didn't even have one until later. Felix, when the flight's biological data was given to the media, who named C341 Felix, after the Felix the Cat cartoon series, popular at the time. The country of Comoros released a stamp in 1992 as one of a series that featured animals that made contributions in spaceflight. The stamp used the name Felix. Surma changed it to the feminine Félicette and adopted the name as official. While other space pioneers like the heroic chimpanzee Ham, interred at the International Space Hall of Fame in New Mexico, and the legendary Soviet dog Laika, honoured with a bronze monument near Russia's Star City, received immediate acclaim, the trailblazing space cat Félicette waited over half a century for her moment in the spotlight. Then a movement began. In 2017, Matthew Serge Guy launched a global crowdfunding mission to give Félicette the tribute she deserved. The world responded with overwhelming enthusiasm. Master sculptor Gil Parker was commissioned to create an awe-inspiring bronze statue showing a cat triumphantly perched atop the earth. The project captured hearts and imaginations, smashing its ambitious £40,000 or just over $50,000 funding goal by April 2018. The grand finale arrived on December 18, 2019, in a spectacular ceremony at the International Space University in eastern France. The magnificent 1.5 metre, 5 feet statue was dramatically unveiled. It captures Félicette perfectly, a feline queen gazing up toward the stars she once bravely explored. Her plaque reads, "Thank you for your participation in the space race." A simple, touching acknowledgement. Today, Félicette is finally being recognised as a true space pioneer. Not just a footnote, not just the cat that went to space, but an animal who helped advance human knowledge. Félicette's journey reminds us of the animals who made enormous sacrifices during the early days of scientific exploration. Animals who helped humanity take its first steps beyond Earth. So the next time you look up at the night sky, remember Félicette, the little stray cat from Paris who flew higher than any cat before or since. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more true stories of the remarkable animals that helped shape human history, please share and hit the like, subscribe and alert bell to show your support.